Chosen One, this message didn't find you by accident. God led you here for a reason. You've always felt like you existed between two realities. Part of you walks the earth, but another part of you feels like it came from somewhere higher. You've never fit in completely, not with the crowd, not with the noise, not even with the systems of this world. And that's because you weren't created to blend in. You were created to bridge dimensions, to stand in the gap between heaven and earth, between the spiritual and the physical, between the seen and the unseen. Every misunderstanding, every season of isolation, every strange encounter you've had wasn't random. It was revelation. You are being prepared to walk in two worlds at once. God designed you to translate the language of spirit into form, to take divine truth and make it tangible. That's why you see things differently. That's why your intuition is sharp. Your dreams are vivid, and your discernment runs deep. You are the bridge anchored in heaven yet assigned to earth. And this message is here to help you remember what your soul already knows. Before we dive deep, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because this message isn't just another video. It's a divine confirmation for the chosen ones who've always felt different. A heartfelt thank you to everyone supporting through Super Thanks. May God bless you richly. Your love, your presence, and your faith do not go unnoticed. To everyone who watches, listens, and aligns with this divine frequency, I'm truly grateful. You are part of a spiritual awakening taking place across the earth. If your spirit feels this message, type 77 in the comments right now. That number isn't random. It's a sacred code to the Most High that you're ready to embrace your purpose, to walk boldly in your calling, and to accept that you're not ordinary. You're a bridge between worlds, carrying light where others see only shadow. Not everyone will make it to the end of this message. Only those truly chosen. Those who stay will gain clarity, awakening, and understanding about their divine role as messengers between realms. This isn't something you hear once and forget. It's a living word, an activation that unfolds over time. Each time you return, another layer of divine truth will rise within you. God is speaking to your spirit right now. Chosen One, it's time to remember who you are and why you're different. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Mystery of the Bridge. Chosen One. To be the bridge between worlds means you were chosen to walk between heaven and earth with purpose. You are the living link between divine wisdom and human understanding. A vessel carrying truth, light, and revelation into a world that's forgotten what real power feels like. You don't just exist in the physical realm. You move through unseen dimensions. Every thought, every instinct, every tug on your soul has meaning. You were born with a spiritual antenna, a sacred sensitivity that allows you to perceive what others cannot. Where logic ends, your knowing begins. While others are moved by what's visible, you are moved by what's eternal. You've always felt a rhythm that didn't match this world's tempo. You've likely been called too deep, too intense, too emotional, or too different. But that's because your spirit hears frequencies beyond this realm. You're tuned into whispers from heaven that ordinary ears can't catch. You sense energy before it manifests. You feel storms before they arrive. You can detect when someone's spirit is unsettled, even if their face is smiling. That's not a weakness, Chosen One, it's spiritual sight. You were never meant to fit into shallow spaces. You were meant to stand between the invisible and the visible, to translate divine energy into human language. That's why you've always felt the tension of being misunderstood. People sense your depth, but can't always define it. They're drawn to your light, but intimidated by what it reveals in them. Your presence disrupts illusions because it carries truth. You are the walking evidence of something sacred, something beyond comprehension. Every pain you felt was part of your calibration. Every betrayal was training your discernment. Every isolation season was fine-tuning your spiritual frequency. You had to learn the language of both heaven and earth, because your purpose is to connect them. When people couldn't understand your silence, heaven was teaching you how to listen to whispers in stillness. When doors closed in your face, it was because the divine was redirecting you to portals only faith could open. Chosen One, you are here to remind humanity of what it has forgotten, that life is not just physical, it's spiritual. You are a bridge of remembrance, a portal of revelation. Your insights aren't random downloads. They are assignments from realms that trust you to carry sacred information. You've been chosen to bring divine truth into a world drowning in confusion. You bring balance where there is chaos, faith where there is fear, and light where there is shadow. The world doesn't need you to conform. It needs you to channel what only you can bring through. You are the interpreter between the divine and the human, the translator of higher wisdom, the activator of dormant souls. So stand tall, Bridge. Know that every experience has been shaping you for this. You are not in between, you are the connection. Heaven flows through you, and because of that, nothing about your life is ordinary. You are not here by accident. You are here as a divine messenger, carrying the code of remembrance for a world that's forgotten how to feel God. Chapter 2. Why you've always felt out of place, Chosen One. You've always known deep down that you didn't fully belong here. From childhood, you could sense that something about this world didn't sit right with your spirit. The chaos, the greed, the noise, it all felt foreign to your nature. You would look around and wonder, why does everyone seem comfortable in this confusion? You weren't judging. You were simply awake. Your soul came into this world carrying the memory of peace, truth, and divine order. And every time you've been surrounded by distortion, something inside you recoiled. You crave meaning in a meaningless age. You crave depth in a world that celebrates shallowness. You crave stillness where the world worships speed. You see, your soul isn't new. It's ancient. You've walked through lifetimes of learning, carrying wisdom from realms far beyond this one. That's why small talk feels empty to you. That's why gossip, competition, and vanity drain your energy. You don't resonate with what's superficial because your spirit is rooted in eternity. You've been sent here not to blend in, but to awaken others, to remind them of what they've forgotten. Every time you tried to be normal, something inside you resisted. That was your spirit saying, this isn't who you are. People have misunderstood you because they can't decode your depth. Your silence confuses them. Your solitude intimidates them. Your insight unsettles them. They sense that you operate on a frequency they can't interpret, and instead of asking to understand, they often distance themselves. But what they called weird, heaven calls wise. What they labeled antisocial was actually divine preservation. God was hiding you from contamination while He prepared your anointing. You see, the separation wasn't punishment, it was preparation. God had to pull you out of the noise so you could hear His voice clearly. He had to isolate you so your spiritual senses could sharpen. Every season of loneliness was a sacred classroom. In the silence, He taught you discernment. In the absence of company, He gave you companionship with His Spirit. While others were chasing status, you were being refined for purpose. You were being built to carry light into places that once rejected you. You've always felt different because you are. You are not a copy. You are a divine original. You were designed with frequencies that this world doesn't understand yet. You can feel when energy shifts in a room. You can sense when someone's spirit is heavy, even before they speak. That empathy, that intuition, that depth, it's not accidental. It's your divine technology, gifted by heaven to fulfill your assignment. You are a messenger, a healer, a vessel carrying light into dark spaces. The truth is, you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out. You were not designed to follow trends. You were chosen to set spiritual standards. You are the reminder of what it means to live consciously, intentionally, and truthfully. Every time you've been excluded, it was heaven redirecting you toward inclusion in a higher plan. You are not behind, you are being positioned. The very things that made you feel out of place are the same traits that make you irreplaceable. Chapter 3. Your soul's contract. Before birth, Chosen One, before your spirit descended into this physical realm, before your first breath, before your heart ever beat, You made an agreement with the divine. In the eternal silence of the higher realms, your soul sat in council with the Most High and said, yes. You chose this mission. You agreed to come into a world heavy with illusion and confusion, not to be consumed by it, but to transform it from within. You knew the path would not be easy, but your soul was brave enough to say, send me. Before your birth, your soul was shown glimpses of the life ahead, the trials, the heartbreaks, the isolation, the spiritual battles. But you also saw the impact your light would have, the souls you would awaken, and the wisdom you would anchor into this realm. You didn't come here by mistake. You were divinely scheduled. You chose this specific era because your vibration matches the frequency of transformation this planet requires. You came not just to exist, but to elevate humanity's consciousness. Every challenge you faced has been written into your soul's contract. Every betrayal, every delay, every heartbreak, they were all coded experiences designed to activate your divine strength. When people walked away, it wasn't random. It was a clause in your agreement for purification. Even the nights you cried and questioned your purpose were sacred. They were part of your awakening. Through pain, your soul remembered power. Through loss, you discovered light. You didn't come here to escape this world. You came to elevate it. You are not here to run from darkness, but to bring illumination into it. The divine trusted you with this mission because you carry ancient codes within your being. Wisdom that was earned over lifetimes of service and surrender. Your essence carries the vibration of truth and the frequency of healing. That's why you've never truly blended in, because your spirit is not from here. Before birth, your soul volunteered to experience the full spectrum of human emotion. Joy and sorrow, clarity and confusion. Not so you would be broken, but so you could guide others through those same valleys with compassion. You were chosen to feel deeply, so you could heal deeply. To know darkness intimately, so you could reveal light authentically. You may have wondered, why me? Why does my path seem heavier than others? But in truth, the weight you carry is sacred. It's not punishment, it's purpose. The greater the calling, the deeper the conditioning required. God knew that to be the bridge, you would have to walk through both worlds, the spiritual and the earthly. And though the journey has tested your limits, it has also refined your essence. Every soul you've met, every challenge you've faced, every delay you've endured, all have been divine appointments. Nothing was wasted. The pain that broke you also built you. Your soul's contract was never about ease. It was about expansion. You came here to activate divine memory in a forgetful world, to remind others of who they truly are. Fragments of the infinite wrapped in temporary flesh. Heaven trusted you because you are capable of carrying what others would collapse under. You have endured tests that were meant to destroy ordinary souls. Yet here you are, still rising, still shining, still remembering. Chapter 4. The Struggle of Walking Between Worlds, Chosen One. Being the bridge is not easy. It's a sacred assignment that often feels like a spiritual tug-of-war. You live in constant tension between what your spirit knows and what your eyes see. One part of you dwells in divine awareness, while the other must function in human reality. You feel the pain of the world deeply, yet you also sense the hope of heaven vividly. You can stand in a crowded room and feel both the presence of angels and the ache of broken hearts. You are a vessel of sensitivity, tuned to multiple dimensions at once. Because of this, you experience emotional highs and lows that others can't comprehend. Some days you wake up radiant with divine clarity. Other days you feel the heaviness of energies that aren't even yours. You're constantly absorbing, discerning, and translating frequencies between realms, and that takes a toll. That's why you need rest, solitude, and silence more than most. Your spirit needs time to recalibrate between dimensions. The stillness you crave isn't laziness, it's spiritual maintenance. Without it, your gift becomes a weight. Sometimes this calling feels more like a burden than a blessing. You try to express what you sense, but people call you strange, dramatic, or overly spiritual. You speak truth that hasn't yet been revealed to them, and they mock what they can't understand. You try to describe what God shows you, but words fall short because heaven's language can't always be translated into human speech. There are moments when you even question yourself. Am I imagining this? Why do I feel things no one else seems to notice? But you're not crazy, Chosen One. You're connected. What feels like chaos inside you is actually divine frequency trying to find human form. You were chosen to interpret what others ignore, to sense what others suppress, to feel what others numb themselves to avoid. Your empathy is not a flaw. It's your most sacred instrument. You are heaven's translator, a spiritual antenna transmitting wisdom through the filter of human experience. But great sensitivity comes with great responsibility. You must learn when to listen and when to withdraw. You must discern when to pour out and when to refill. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it's stewardship. The struggle you face daily is simply the friction of two worlds trying to find harmony through you. You stand between spirit and flesh, light and matter, eternity and time. The pressure you feel isn't punishment. It's purpose pressing its way through your humanity. Every wave of emotion is part of the calibration process. You are learning how to carry divine energy without being consumed by it. The more you master that balance, the more peace you'll feel walking between worlds. Understand that your isolation is not random. Heaven hides you when the noise of the world becomes too loud for your spiritual frequency. Those quiet seasons are divine retreats where your soul receives fresh instruction. In stillness, heaven downloads your next steps, insight, strategy, and revelation meant only for you. So when the world demands constant motion, dare to rest. When others chase attention, seek alignment. For you, silence is not emptiness, it's communion. Chapter 5. Your divine responsibility as the bridge chosen one. Being the bridge is not just an identity, it's a divine responsibility. You are not sent here to judge the world, but to help heal it. You carry frequencies of truth, wisdom, and light that this generation desperately needs. The divine entrusted you with sacred codes, spiritual blueprints hidden in your soul, meant to restore balance between heaven and earth. Your presence alone is a vibration of harmony. You are a living reminder that God still speaks, still moves, still manifests through human vessels. Your purpose is multidimensional. You don't just bridge heaven and earth, you connect what humanity has divided. You bridge spirit and science, logic and faith, the seen and the unseen. You embody compassion and strength, humility and authority. You are the balance between opposites, the meeting point where understanding replaces division. When you speak from your heart, the energy of heaven flows through your words. When you love unconditionally, you become the proof that divinity can dwell within flesh. But to fulfill this sacred assignment, you must remain anchored. The bridge must be strong enough to carry both the weight of the world and the flow of heaven. You can't afford to be swayed by opinions or drained by chaos. The moment you lose your grounding, the flow between realms becomes distorted. Guard your mind as a holy temple. Protect your heart as a sacred portal. The more the world tries to pull you into distraction, the more you must return to stillness. Do not let the world's confusion corrupt your clarity. Many will try to influence you, project fear onto you, or twist your purity for personal gain. But you must remember, you were never meant to fit into systems. You were meant to transform them. Your discernment is your shield. Your peace is your weapon. Your authenticity is your power. The bridge does not move with every wind. It stands firm, knowing its foundation is eternal. Chosen one, you are not called to blend with darkness. You are called to illuminate it. Every time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, you bring heaven closer to earth. Every time you speak peace where there is panic, you anchor divine order in chaos. Every time you show love in a place saturated with hate, you fulfill your mission. You don't have to shout to shift energy. Your presence itself is transmission. Understand this. Your daily life is ministry. The way you speak, love, and move is how heaven expresses itself through you. You are not here to escape the world. You are here to remind it of its origin. You bring divinity into ordinary spaces, into workplaces, homes, and hearts that have forgotten what light feels like. You are proof that God doesn't only dwell in temples, but in willing vessels who carry His frequency. This path requires constant renewal. Even bridges need maintenance. Spend time in prayer, meditation, and solitude, not as rituals but as spiritual alignment. The world's energy will try to attach to you. Release it often. Let stillness be your reset and gratitude be your grounding. The clearer your vessel, the stronger your transmission. Chosen One, your responsibility is not to save everyone. It's to stay connected to the source, so that whoever crosses your path can feel heaven's love through you. Chapter 6. The Awakening of Your Power, Chosen One. When your consciousness begins to expand, it's not just awareness, it's activation. Layers of illusion peel away, and suddenly you see with spiritual eyes. You feel deeper, sense energy before it speaks, and discern truth without needing proof. Your intuition sharpens, your peace becomes protection, and your presence commands the unseen. What was dormant within you now moves with purpose. You will feel your spiritual system activating in new ways. Your sensitivity to frequencies will increase. You'll know alignment before a word is spoken. The more your heart aligns with God, the faster things manifest. Prayers turn into experiences. Thoughts materialize. Doors open without force. The energy around you shifts because heaven recognizes your authority. Your words carry power. When you speak, things happen. When you pray, you feel heaven move. When you command peace, chaos obeys. Divine synchronicities will confirm your path. Numbers, dreams, symbols, and encounters speak directly to your spirit. These are coordinates from heaven guiding you forward. Every event positions you where your light is needed most. With awakening comes responsibility. Power without purity destroys. That's why your process was painful. It cleansed you for capacity. You had to lose control so heaven could flow through you. Your past isolation wasn't punishment. It was calibration. Do not fear your power, honor it. It lifts others into remembrance of who they are. When you enter a room, energy shifts. People may not understand it, but they'll feel it. Peace, clarity, hope. You are not here to boast your light, but to be light. Manifestation is now lifestyle. Speak blessings, paths clear. Declare alignment, doors open. True power is surrender. The deeper you surrender, the stronger your authority. The bridge allows flow. It does not force it. Your awakening makes you responsible for others. You feel a calling to intercede, uplift, and speak light. Every encounter is divine assignment. Souls meet divine energy in human form. The world awaits your frequency. You were never meant to dim your glow. Stand tall and radiate love that pierces darkness. Accept who you are without fear or shame, and everything aligns. Opportunities magnetize. Souls awaken. Energy harmonizes. You are no longer hiding your light. Your awakening reveals your purpose. You are the bridge, and your light is fully operational. The world needs your energy, presence, and essence. Walk boldly. Speak truthfully. Shine unapologetically. Heaven chose you to be living proof that divine power flows through human form. And when it does, darkness has no choice but to flee. Chapter 7. Walking in your role with faith and purpose, Chosen One. This is the era of divine awakening. You can no longer play small or pretend you don't feel the pull of your calling. The vibration of the earth is shifting, and heaven is summoning those who were born to stand in the gap. You are one of them. You can feel it in your soul. The call to rise, the stirring that won't let you settle for ordinary. Heaven has been preparing you quietly, but now the silence is breaking. The world is entering a great spiritual transition, and your light is part of its healing. You carry messages that go beyond words, truths that speak directly to the soul. Your presence transmits peace, your energy teaches love, and your walk reveals faith. You are not here by accident. You were strategically placed on earth to demonstrate divine alignment in human form. Every time you choose compassion over bitterness, truth over silence, and love over fear, heaven flows through you. You become a living sermon without ever needing a pulpit. Heaven is activating you to walk boldly in your purpose. Rise with confidence in who you are and whose you are. You don't need validation from man when your assignment was written by God. Your mission is bigger than acceptance. It's about awakening. You connect heaven and humanity, spirit and matter. And your faith is what keeps that bridge strong. Don't let the doubts of others weaken what divine truth already confirmed. The world is in spiritual chaos, confusion and fear everywhere. But you, chosen one, were not designed to drown in that energy. You were designed to redirect it. You bring balance where there's conflict and love where there's lack. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts, not because you try, but because you are. You carry heaven's frequency, and it resonates wherever you go. Walk with faith even when the path is unclear. Speak truth with compassion, even when your voice trembles. Stand firm in your identity even when misunderstood. You are not called to be accepted. You are called to be effective. You are here to elevate this realm. Every step you take in obedience opens a path for others to find themselves. When people encounter your light, something within them awakens. It's not about you being seen, it's about them remembering who they are.